Yes, there we go. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, guys. Another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their lives and careers and their campaigns, because corporate comics lost my interest. So indie comics is where the fun is, where the talent is. So yeah, hello. So my weekend is pretty busy. I am collecting and sorting everything for the shipment to the United States. So all the backers from the Perfect 10 campaign are in the United States. Will have their books pretty soon. I have everything ready. It's almost 80% of all the backers, man. That's crazy. So what I need to do now is put it in boxes and put it on this big pallet and have it shipped out. So this will happen tomorrow or maybe Tuesday, not sure yet. So yeah, that's cool. And I have everything ready for Australia also. So this is going out the door tomorrow. All right. I saw some people in the chat already. So cool to see you guys. We have Jeremy. Welcome, Jeremy. Ice and Fire. Welcome, sir. How are you? And Jay Lee. The Jay Lee. Hello, Jay Lee. Marvi is also here. Greetings, sinners. Hello, Marvi. How are you, sir? And Chris Fisk is also with us today. Always cool to see Chris. Darkside is Comics. Darkside is Comics. Welcome, sir. Guys, if you don't know Darkside is Comics, he has a YouTube channel and he does daily comic book reviews. So check it out, guys. Agent Zero, Chrome Dog, now funding. Check out Chrome Dog on Indiegogo, guys. Welcome, Agent Zero. And then we have Ryu Mav. Welcome, Ryu. Welcome. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for showing up. Thank you all. Yeah, because we have a new guest to the show, never been here before. So we're going to check out his wonderful campaign. So let's just bring him on. Let me check if I have everything in place. I think so. So here is Mr. James D. Lee.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Welcome, James.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, man. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. Doing real good. Had a good night last night with Mr. Michael Bancroft. So
yes,
I'm doing well.
Yes. So that went pretty well, right?
Yeah, it went really well. Lots of people looked in. We had a good. I mean, we haven't even gone 12 hours yet. Not even well, actually, not even 24 hours yet, and we're already
Right.
past 10% of the funding for the campaign. So I'm very happy with that.
Excellent. So you're still in that launch day buzz,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
still we're
first.
still on the first day, at least the first week. It's going to we're going for 60-day campaign, so it's going to
Oh,
be a good campaign.
right, right. So this is your first campaign, also.
This is my first crowdfunding campaign.
Mhm.
My
Right.
novels, I have a publishing deal for that.
Oh
So
wow, you have novels. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. Before we talk about that, I have to ask you. That's the theme of the show. So, what are you drinking?
I am actually having soda because I cannot drink alcohol because I'm actually allergic to alcohol.
Oh really?
So
Okay.
yeah, I cannot have any type of alcohol. It's
Oh
a
wow.
medical condition, so I've always had. So
Oh wow. So what
I'm
happens
actually
when you
having
drink?
what happens. If you don't know, your stomach has an enzyme in it that breaks down alcohol. If you do not have that, it's a poison. So if I ingest it, I do not have that enzyme, so it'll put me in a systematic shock.
Wow. So there was a time in your life where you found that out, right?
When I was very young, I was
You
tested
got really
for it.
lucky.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Okay. Okay. No alcohol. Got it. Okay. And I see Mike. Mike is here. Welcome, Mike. uh, nice to see you, sir. And okay, so James, you said you had books, right? Because
Yeah.
um, I think you are pretty new to the comic book scene.
No, I've been around since '94. I started out with
Oh,
Kelsey
really?
Shannon. So yeah, Kelsey Shannon and I started out together in '94.
All
Now
right.
I didn't stay long in the comic book business.
Mhm.
I ended up going overseas to Japan to work for New Japan Pro Wrestling as a artist for their T-shirts and stuff. And then I came back later on around 2001. But no, I was in for a little bit with Kelsey starting out. This is before Kelsey went to DC Comics or anything like that. So I've been around. I'm a lot older than I look. I had good friendship with Michael Turner. I had friendship with guys in Image Comics and in other comic companies back then. So I've been around. So
Right. So what titles did you work on?
the title that I worked, now I didn't work for Image Comics. The title I worked on was one called Son of Bastet. It was I was the penciler and Kelsey Shannon was inking it. It was an independent comic book that was published. It did not get picked up by Diamond, so basically it's going to be almost impossible to find if you can actually find it. It was done by a company called Power Comics at the time, which they went out of business around
Power
95.
Comics.
Yeah, they went out of business in 95. So I
Okay.
mean, there's been a bunch of companies called Power Comics. So
Right.
it's going to be a hard book to find.
Right. And you said you were the penciler.
I was the penciler, yes.
Okay. So um, this series also your new series. Are you the penciler here also?
Yes, I'm the penciler and inker on this new series. Yes, it's my
All
art.
right. Okay. Cool. Cool. Usually I get writers here.
Well, I mean,
This is cool.
my writing stuff didn't start until 2018, and then that's when I started writing. And
Right.
on that subject, I started writing due to I lost my mother back in 2018. And I created the horror universe of the Stines, which is a 3-book trilogy that has sold over 40,000 copies so far. And you can pick it up worldwide. And on this campaign, we're offering not only the graphic novel, but you can pick up all 3 of the novels on the campaign. Now, it'll be a lot cheaper if you order it through the campaign than if you go retail.
Right. So you wrote 3 novels.
Mhm.
Um, it's all the Steins.
Everything is based on the Steins. The Steins is the original story of the Steins, which takes place in modern days, is about a young girl whose parents are brutally murdered at the first, and she's forced to go live overseas with her relatives. When she gets over there, she finds out that the relatives are vampires, undead, and werewolves. So she has to survive living with them while the assassins that killed her parents want her dead. As the story continues on, you find out that there's another vampire involved, and she wants everybody dead. So that's
Right.
the original story. The graphic novel takes place in the 1500s, and it focuses on the main vampire of the story, Count Vladislav Vicious von Kumpfen, and the day that he makes the decision to become the vampire and why he did it. And how it changed the course of the country that they're living in for 500 years.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's it's a lot of lore there, right? So you really put some thought into that. By the way, guys, if you're watching and you have questions for Mr. Lee, just drop it in the chat. Agent Zero says, I love seeing those belts on the shelves. What are those belts, sir?
Well, they're replicas I have on the shelf. I have the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt, the NWA Tag Team Championship belt, the old World Class Championship belt that the Von Erichs had. I also have an NXT title belt. I also have an IWGP Heavyweight Championship belt, along with the NWA US title and the NWA Big Gold title.
Oh, wow. So did you say it's a replica or is it the real thing? Or?
No, those are replicas. No,
Right.
You're not going to get a real thing.
Right. Yeah. Okay, great. Welcome, Dean. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Dean. Good to see you.
Yes. Okay. So I like to rewind a little bit. So how did you get into comics? Into making comics, reading comics? How did it start?
How did I start out? That actually started, and I'll tell the story. When I was in high school, I did not have any desire to be a comic book artist. I wanted to work for Skunk Works. If you don't know what Skunk Works is, they are the secret organization that built the SR-71 Blackbird and the 117 Stealth Fighter. I wanted to design fighter jets. So I was heavily involved in architectural design, general drafting of aircraft while I was in high school. But when I saw Jim Lee's Alpha Flights, I was hooked. I was like, I want to learn how to draw people and everything. And then after meeting Jim at a convention in New York in 1988, and this is before he got famous. So he took about 25 minutes to show me how to fix my artwork. And I've got
wait. So you met him at a convention?
Yeah, I met Jim Lee at the Big Apple Con.
Right.
Okay, this is 1988.
Right.
And,
okay, cool.
He gave. I'm not going to go into the full story, but he gave me about a 25-minute one-on-one on how to fix my anatomy, how to do my drawings and stuff like that. I've still got the little bitty stick figure drawings that he did to show me how to fix everything. So I've still got those.
Right. Wow. I saw that Ojo is here. Hey, welcome, Ojo. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today? Yeah. Okay, man. So you got a crash course from Mr. Jim Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's excellent. Do you still apply his tips and tricks?
If you look at, I'm heavily influenced by his. If you look at my artwork, right. I'm heavily influenced by Jim. I'm heavily influenced by Michael Turner, who I also knew as well. Michael and I are the same age, so it was pretty cool back then. But I met a lot of people. I met Rob Liefeld and all the guys from Wildstorm and from Extreme Studios in Top Cow. So they were easily accessible when you got to meet them.
Right. This was at
the 90s.
At conventions. Yeah.
I was at conventions, but Michael and like with Rob and everything, I was able to correspond through letters and stuff to get test scripts and everything back then.
Oh, test scripts. They were testing you
to
work with them.
Yeah, to see if I was qualified to work for them. I still, they were sitting back, well, you need to work on this, you need to work on that. And what happened was I got offered, a wrestler named Sap contacted me because I had done some T-shirts for a couple of metal bands. And because he was going to go work for New Japan Pro Wrestling, that he needed some shirt designs. So I did shirt designs for him, and he took them over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then New Japan was like, these are really good. Would you consider doing a contract for us to do wrestling shirts? And when they offered me what they offered me, which I'm not going to say on television what it was, comics went out the door and the T-shirts came in because the money was incredible. And so I actually went to Japan for a few years to work over there.
Wow. Great. Right. So you made shirts there. You did other things in Japan?
I did other things in Japan. I had a great time in Japan. And then, like I said, 2001, I came back to the States. I was still doing some T-shirts. I'll tell you a couple of guys I did. Bullet Club members Jay White. I did a couple of shirts for him. I've done Chase Owens' shirts. A couple of several others of the Bullet Club. So I've done those shirts. So
Yeah, a lot of names that I don't really know, I think. But that's great. So what got you back into doing comic books?
well, in 2015 I broke my hand. So when I broke my hand, I couldn't draw anymore because I had nerve damage.
Oh,
And so it was about 20, I would say 2020. Ryan Wynn asked me if I could, just pick up the pen and try again. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I found my hand had fully healed. I had no nerve damage. My hand wasn't shaking or anything like that. And then I started noticing the YouTube channels and how the indie circuit had changed, how crowdfunding had come in play.
right.
And I was like, wait a minute, I've got these novels, I've got these characters, I can hop back in and go again. So that's what I did.
Okay, great. So the novels you had, um,
Yeah, I had the contract on the novels. I got the contract in 2019 on the novels. And
right.
I had already been working on that for about, like I said, ever since my mother passed away. And then 2020, September 2020, the first book dropped, did really well. Then 21, second book. And then 2022, last September, the third book hit. And when the third book hit, it sold out in 5 hours on Amazon.
Holy
So,
shit.
yeah, so I mean, it really exploded.
So it's a popular title, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty popular. I mean, I've got sales in Europe, I've got sales in Australia, I've got sales everywhere. So
And you write one book per year?
that's what I wrote on the books. Yeah, I had it kind of planned out, but I had to break it up because of how they wanted to do it. So it
Hmm?
became 3 books.
Okay, so the story is done now. It's a
Yeah,
trilogy.
yeah,
It's done.
there's a trilogy. It's done. Yeah, and
Okay.
the graphic novel, like I said, the graphic novel comes in before the novels because, like I said, the
Okay.
novels take place in modern time, the time that we're in now.
Yeah.
This graphic novel starts in 1507, so we have like a 500-year gap between the two.
Okay. Right. All right. First, I thought this was a comic adaptation of the novels, but
No,
it isn't.
no,
It's
no. It's a prequel to the novels.
yes. Right. So, were you maybe originally planning to do the prequel as books also, as novels?
Well, the prequel was the original set down on trying to put the book together,
Okay.
and I had always focused on the vampire. I had actually drawn von Kampfen back in '99, so I've actually had him since '99. It's
Mhm.
just I never had anything to go with him because I wanted to draw this vampire. I've always liked vampires and werewolves, and so when I drew him, I had the face, but I didn't have anything else to go with him. And so when I started putting the book together, I had the character, the face, I had everything together. And the problem I was having was as the story was going, it would bog down about chapter 8, chapter 9. And so I had to refocus on the characters and who was going to be the main character. So once I switched from him to this girl, it all fit in real quick and easy to work with, and it just flew through because you see it through her eyes and not his eyes.
Okay. Right. Perspective change. Yeah.
Yeah, complete
Uh,
complete change.
right. So apparently you can draw, but you can also write because your book sold well, right?
Right.
So did you take writing classes?
No, I wouldn't say it was classes, but what I did do before I started writing is I had gone to seminars and speaking engagements. I had gone to one with Chris Claremont. I had gone to
Oh,
I had gone to 3 with Stephen King, several other writers and stuff like that. So I had listened to what they had said
right.
about writing and stuff like that. So I just used everything they had said to put together what I was doing.
Right. Great, man. Fantastic. Okay, so vampires. Why vampires? Why did you pick this theme for your story?
I mean, it's a classic story. Okay, there has not been a really good classic horror story or anything like this in decades. Now we have Underworld, of course, but I'm talking about novel wise and stuff. There's not been anything like this in decades.
Mm.
Even like in movies, it's gone to this hack and slash. And as somebody who was in the military, when you're sitting there watching a hack and slash movie and you see all this blood, you're like going, whoever did this was an idiot, because there's not enough blood in your body to cause all this stuff, and you just sit there and you're like going, yeah, I can't see this. It just gets dull and it's like that. So I wanted to give somebody a story they could really wrap around and feel and get involved with, and really fall in love with the characters and stuff.
Right. Great. Sounds great. Okay, let's take a look at your book then, right? At your campaign. But before we do this, let's have a little ad break. Woo! Yeah. Great. Yeah, we love what we love. Animated trailers, man.
Yes, and Pedro Ang did the trailer.
Pedro, yes, right.
He did a fantastic job.
Fantastic, man. That's a lot of work. A lot of work. Great. Okay. That trailer is badass, says Agent Zero.
Thank you, sir.
It very much is, yeah. Marvy says, very cool. Yes, sir. And he also says the first 3 Underworld movies were great. The rest, meh. That franchise
there's only
has
4.
Disney syndrome.
So there's only 4. And the way I put it is the 3rd movie and the 4th movie should have been put together as one movie.
Right, yeah. Yeah. They tried to...
stretch it too long.
Yeah, stretch it for too long, yeah, right. I also thought the movies were too blue. Whenever I think of this Underworld franchise, I think of the color blue. Everything was blue, So
I take it back. There's actually 5 movies, so it was
5.
4 and 5. It was 4 and 5 that should have been put together.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Wait. You also have something else. You also have your own website, right?
Mm-hmm. I have my own website. The website, like I said, we haven't fully updated it yet. Still working with it, but it does have all the information for the Indiegogo campaign and everything on the website. So
okay.
Now that is the battle. That's the 3rd book cover there for the 3rd book.
Oh,
that's the one for the novel, the 3rd novel that came out back in September.
This is the cover from the novel.
That's the cover from the novel for the 3rd novel. Yeah.
All right, great.
And you can see, and the background is the cover for the 1st novel.
All right. Okay, cool. You can find some info here. People can check it out. Stines.com. All the links, guys, are in the description of the video, right? So check it out. And then we have your campaign, the Stines, Rise of the Vampires.
Well, that's correct.
Birth of the Vampire Count Vladislav
Vicious von Komfen.
Vladislav Vicious von Komfen. Wow.
A long name. Yes, I can actually say it. So
yeah, great. Okay, first campaign, you're doing great. 22 backers right now. You put it to 60 days from the get-go. 13% now funded. Flexible goals. So even if you don't make it,
They're still
you
going to keep going.
still have the funds. So you are planning to
Go in demand,
printing
yes.
and fulfilling anyway, right?
Yeah.
Right. Great. Cool. So the rise of the vampires. This means there will be multiple books, multiple comics, right?
This means there's multiple vampires, and yes, I have plenty of more material to go for other books.
So do you have a plan? Do you have a
Yes.
long form?
Yeah. I mean, this book, if we hit our benchmarks and everything like that, it would go all the way up to 100 pages. Right now, it's set at 48. So if we hit our benchmarks and we make our maximum benchmark, it'll go up to 100 pages. But there is so much more story to be told with the
Right.
Stines because, like I said, I've got a 500-year span between the novels and this book, so I can go
Yeah.
on anything I want. And I
Right.
have over 85 characters already copyrighted and owned, so I can use any of the characters at any point in the story I want to.
Holy shit. Ryu says, yeah, agree. There's not much on this genre. I watched the show Bitten and love it. Underworld was not really my thing, although I liked the second movie for a bit. Awesome trailer.
Thank you.
Right. Right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Okay. So this is the first in. You don't know, but this comic is self-contained.
Yes, this comic tells a specific story.
Right. Great. Okay. The Stines. So the Stines is a family name.
Yes, it's the royal name of the. Okay, I'll explain. In this story, there is a country called Moldovia. It's a fictitious story. It is what I used the country of Liechtenstein to build this country. So a lot of people don't know what Liechtenstein is. Liechtenstein is a principality country just south of Germany between Austria and Switzerland. And it is actually ruled by a prince. He actually rules it. He's also he is the wealthiest royal in the entire European area. If nobody knew that, he is really rich. But I mean, the people love him. He's one of those things. So I used his country to base Moldovia, which is the fictitious country of the story,
Mm-hmm.
to that story. So I could build my own country.
Right.
Stines is short for von Stein. The royal family is called von Stein. So if you know anything about royals and like that, you have the ruler, which in this case was a prince. And then if he had siblings, they were counts, duchesses, and so forth. And this is the story of the younger brother, the count. And this is the day that they go out to battle the Ottoman Empire. Even though they win the battle, the prince dies. And before the prince dies, the brother, who's the count, makes a blood oath to protect the country and the royal family. Now, when he makes the blood oath to protect the royal family, that's not his family, it's his brother's family, which is very rare back in those days. But then he's assassinated, and as he's dying, he makes the deal to become a vampire to keep his blood oath. And that's where we're at, right? That's where the book actually starts off at, is right after he's made the blood oath, the contract to be the vampire.
Wow. So the oath, for the oath, he becomes the vampire.
Well,
That's the deal.
that when he makes the blood oath, after he's assassinated, that's what gets the attention of the person that makes the deal with him.
Okay. Okay.
And then he becomes the vampire.
Okay. Great. Mar V has a question. Are you using normal shipping to Europe? Some creators can send books for less than usual price.
Yeah, I'm using what I can use because, like I said, if you notice the main campaign, the main bundle, you're getting 6 books. You're getting all 3 novels hardback. So it's going to be shipped, and it should be there as soon as possible. But I only can do what the post office does here in the States. That's all I can do.
Right. Right.
So yeah, and they just raised the rates. So dealing with the shipping and boxing and everything like that, we're kind of tied up on what we can actually do on shipping.
Are your books available in other
They're hard.
countries?
Yeah, they're available. Yeah, you can get them in other countries. Yeah, you can buy the books. The novels are available everywhere. The difference is if you go through the campaign, you're going to get the novels at a much cheaper price.
Right, right. Do they did they get translated for other
No,
countries also?
no, I
No.
don't. No, we didn't get. They're all in English.
Right. Okay, no problem. All right. The Steins. Your label is called US Comics or
That's correct.
U8
Yeah, U.S.
US Comics. Okay,
Yeah, U.S. Comics.
great. And these are two. This is a
These are
variant cover,
these are no. This is the Count and his wife.
right?
So in the story, she also becomes a vampire, which
Right,
you'll see in the story.
right. But this is a cover, right?
Yeah, this is cover A.
This is your art and
Yeah, this
colored
is my art.
by Gabe.
Yeah, it's colored by Gabe.
Great.
I do the pencils and inks.
Okay, great. And this is the cover
This
A.
was this was the Stines special cover by Jimmy Reyes that the pre-signups got. So you had to sign up before the campaign went live,
Yeah.
and once you signed up, you had the option of this cover in 3 different bundles that you could have done. So that's his cover there.
Okay. So if you didn't sign up, this cover is not available.
That cover is not available unless you signed up for the pre-sign up.
Oh wow, wow. This is right, guys. Make sure you sign up to these things, to the pre-launch campaigns.
Yeah, we
I
ran
myself was packing, was preparing shipments for the US, and about 1/3 of the backers didn't sign up, and they will all miss out on a special print by Joe Bennett. That's such a shame, man.
Yeah, we ran the pre-sign up for 60 days. So everybody had 60 days to sign up.
Right? Yes.
So this is cover A, and then there's 2 other covers as well.
This cover B.
That's cover B. That's the Count himself,
Mm-hmm.
and then cover C is again his wife. I don't know why it's stretched, but that is the cover for the second.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What can you tell us about this lady? What?
That lady is the Countess Mina. She is the wife of the Count. She is a very loyal and loving wife. She's a mother of a 3-year-old daughter, and she's your typical middle 1500s woman. What you're looking at her there is after she was attacked by werewolves. She gets beat up pretty good before he gets to her, and that's why she has to become a vampire, and
Right.
because she chooses to stay with him.
Right.
But she's very loyal and very loving to her husband.
Right. I must say, I like this art style. It has this 90s flavor,
Mhm.
and I really like that. And it's not a style that you it's a style that you usually see with more superhero stuff, right? So
Mhm.
not really with these kind of stories. Um, so this combination is pretty original, I think.
And you get to see the first 7 pages of the book.
All right, you can read the first 7 pages. That's great. That's great. So who did you hire to write?
You have to scroll up. His name's right above the first cover. So I always keep forgetting his name. If you go up,
Oh
there's
wow,
his character, Rick Joseph.
Rick. Oh here, the letterer.
Yeah, he's the letterer. He does all the lettering.
Oh, the lettering, right?
Right.
But you are the writing. You wrote the story.
I wrote the story. Yeah, the
You
whole
wrote
story's
the-
mine. It's all
Right.
everything's written by me. Just like I
Okay.
did. Just like I did the novels.
Right. So do you have an editor you work with?
Yes, I do. I use the same editor that did my novels.
Right.
So he's looked at everything, and like I said, I have some friends that were in the comic book business, and they looked at stuff. Like I actually had to redraw some pages, so I have some other pages that people have seen that are not being used because, as they put it, They're like going, you rush this, it's not the quality you want. You need to go back and redo this. You need to redo that. And so that's what that's what I did. I went back and redid things to make it look even better and bolder and more, eye catching and stuff.
Right. Yes. I saw AGE Comics dropped in. Welcome, sir. How are
And
you
yes,
doing?
once we get funded, if we get fully funded, every page is going to be colored. Everything's going to look like the covers. It'll be
Right.
full color.
Yeah. Yeah. This is still in production, right?
Yeah, it's in production right now. We are 1/4 of the way through the book. I've got 12 pages drawn. Like I said, right now it's 48 pages, so we are 1/4 of the way through.
Okay. And is Gabe going to be the colorist?
Yeah, Gabe's doing all the coloring.
Okay. Cool. Also, welcome, Dr. Rhino. Welcome, sir. Welcome. We are looking today at the Stines by James D. Lee. This is your art, right?
Everything's mine.
Yeah. And this page is this a
It's a
spread
dull page.
that
Yeah, it's a dull page.
you
Yeah,
have
it's a
to
dull page. Yeah, you have to turn the book.
right? You have to turn the book, right? Right. This was also really 90s that you had to
Yeah,
turn the
I
book
mean,
around for
you
this
can you
double
can
page
tell
spread.
who's where I got my influences from.
Yes,
Like I said,
definitely.
I'm not a young artist. I'm in my 50s, so it's one of those things. So
Yeah, no worries, man. The 90s were great.
90s were a blast.
Okay, so I think you needed to do a lot of research, not only for the story but also for the visuals, right?
Yeah, I mean, really, I had to go back and really do homework of what things looked like in the 1500s, what they wore, what they dressed, and I
Yeah.
had to make some minor adjustments because I didn't think him in full plate armor with a full plate mask and everything would look as good as him in just the old chainmail with the coat of arms over the chainmail. That's why he looks like he does. I wanted more dramatic where you could actually see him and not just armor.
Right.
So
So so beyond the vampires themselves, are there other supernatural elements
oh
in
yeah,
this world?
there's a bunch of stuff. You have like I said, there's actually in this, like, just a couple pages further in are werewolves.
Oh,
See,
really?
yeah, after this battle, they actually win the battle, but after this battle, the Ottomans that pull out leave the mercenaries that they've hired. Well, the mercenaries are getting in the city; they're getting annihilated.
Hmm.
Well, what you find out is the mercenaries that are still alive are a bunch of werewolves, so they go on a rampage.
Okay.
That's why and as he gets into the city and finds out about what's going on, he goes after the werewolves.
Right. Okay. Marv says the art is great.
Thank you.
Right. And welcome, Spore Hacker. Welcome, sir. So yeah, do you consider this comic a horror themed comic, or is it lighter? Or
I'd look at it as a dark fantasy
Mhm.
with some horror because even with vampires and werewolves, people get killed. I
Yeah,
mean, that's going to happen. I mean,
sure.
you're not going to be getting out of not being killed. And I do kill people. Even in the novels, there's people that get killed. I mean, in the novels in the first book, within the first probably 4 or 5 paragraphs, I've got 2 people already dead.
Right.
I don't. When you're doing horror, when you write horror, what you want to do is take 2 sheets of paper. On the top of the 2 sheets of paper, you want to put, these are the people who's going to survive, and these are the people who are going to die. And at that point, you start putting your story together, and you start figuring out where everything goes. But if you're going to kill somebody, you have to make it count. You just don't do it.
Yeah.
It has to move the story forward. It has to be, oh my God, I couldn't believe you did this. Or, it has to be something that really grabs the reader. And if you don't do it that way, it's not worth killing somebody.
Yes. Yes. I've noticed with my own writing that I introduce characters that I plan on killing. That's the point. That's the point of the character.
Exactly.
At some point, they will die, and then while the story progresses, I notice no, this character needs to survive, and
Yeah,
then and
that has
different.
happened. That has
So
happened with
so
me.
planning too far
Well, yeah.
ahead is sometimes difficult, right?
Well, yeah, it is. There was a main character that I had planned on killing, but
Yeah.
as the story went on, I was like, no, I got to change it.
Yes.
I was like, nope, I have to change it. He's this, that, and the other. And then there was another character where, yeah, I got to drop this guy. I can't have him keep going. And then so you have to be flexible with how you do things, especially with novels, especially with things. Nothing's set in stone. Everything's capable. The only thing that's set in stone is who's your main character, and is the person going to survive or is the person going to
Right.
die? You make that up at the first.
Right. Do you also know the ending?
Of which? Of this book?
You have this book?
Yeah. Yes. I know exactly the ending. Yeah. I know
Okay.
exactly how it ends.
Hmm. Marvy likes to know if there are any hot chicks who do the killing.
Yeah. Well, in this one, she makes her appearance, but you don't see her really go nuts until the novels.
All right. All right. Yeah.
Because I mean, the main villain of the novels is a girl, a female vampire,
Hmm.
and she is very cold, very calculating, and doesn't care. She'll kill anybody she wants.
Right. But you have a lot of characters, right? You deal with this family, with this
Yeah,
legacy,
you
with
do with the whole country. You deal with when you're going from 1507 all the way to 2000, you got to make up. Like
right.
when you're doing a royal family, and if you haven't read the novels, it's a royal family. You have to do the background when somebody takes the throne. You've got to do the background of everybody that's been on the throne before that person. And you
Right.
got to come up when they were alive, when they died, and so forth. And you got to go all the way back to this point of 1507. That's a lot of generations.
Yes. So so
You know,
so how do you keep control of the story? How do you make sure it doesn't get bogged down by all the information?
that's the trick.
Yeah.
The only time you really see the story of those monarchs and stuff like that is in reading of their names and their dates. That's it. They
Okay.
don't bog anything down because they
Hmm.
they're not. Most of the royal family is not that important as it goes further on into the story.
Hmm.
There's a certain point where another rulers, two rulers ahead in the future, are very important, but they're
Right.
not. They're not. But the rest of them are just names. There's no significance of what's going on because you have to understand you have two different families here. You have one Coffin's family. He's the younger brother of the royal family. It's sort of like Harry and William in England. William is going to be king when Charles dies.
Right.
Harry is not. Harry is out because of William's children and everything. He's out the door. He's never going to be king. In this story, you have two brothers like that. One is prince, one is ruling. The other, which is this count, is the younger brother. His brother dies. He is extremely close to his brother. He takes the oath to protect his brother's family,
Right.
not his own, but his brother's family. And he does it for 500 years. So you're not following actual royal family until you get to modern times. You're following the younger brother for 500 years and what he's doing
Right.
to
Right.
protect everybody.
Right. So so is it challenging to write characters that are like decades old, like or like because these characters they live forever?
Well, what I did
Like.
was, I'll explain what I did. My family is very well known in history. Members of my family include the actor Christopher Lee, include like Robert E. Lee of the United States, Richard Henry Lee, who helped found the United States, all these people. There's actually a knight under the kings of England from 1500s called Sir Humphreys Lee. And so I used a lot of my family records to look at things, to get a sense of what was going on at that time period. So my family, I can trace all my family back 48 generations.
Right.
So I have all that kind of information in writings and documents of letters they sent and stuff like that I can look at to get an idea of what was going on back then. And I feed off of that.
All right. Guys, if you have any questions for Mr. Lee, just drop it in the chat. Meanwhile, we take a look at the perks that you're offering. Right. So you have the Stines Universe Bundle. What's in here?
This is you get all 3 covers of the graphic novel, and you get all 3 of the novels hardback. So you'll actually get the hardback novels.
Mm-hmm. You get the novels, right? Plus the comic.
Plus the comic. You get everything.
Right. Everything. Great. Awesome. And you have estimated shipping at January 2024. So, yeah.
Hopefully we'll ship before that, but that's what we're looking at.
Right. Okay. All right. You also offer a digital version, which is nice.
You do get a digital version of the book.
This is great, guys. If you want to support James and this campaign, and you want to save on shipping or whatever, but you still want to read the book, this is a perfect way to do it for just $10. All right, the Stines cover A for $25. You get you said it was 70 pages at least.
It's
right.
It's 48 pages at least. 48 pages.
48. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Right. You get cover A. You get cover B. That's this one. So this is A. This is B.
Right.
And then you get cover C.
Right.
Right. Or you can pick this one, the Stines comic bundle.
Right.
You get all the variants. Right. Yes. Okay, so you get the variants. We have all the books, which is 125 with all the books, right?
And then I have another universe bundle right here. This is paperback. So if you want hardbacks, you can get the paperbacks as well. So this bundle 2 is you get the 3 covers and the paperback versions of the novels.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's great. And finally, you get a head sketch.
Correct. And it's a quality sketch. It's not something simple. It's going to be detailed, just like what's shown on that picture.
Right.
Like I said, I'm going to put a lot of work into it. Basically, it's the size of a backing board. So it's a good size. It's going to be a good size head sketch.
Oh, wow. Let's say hi to Ice Queen. Welcome, Ice Queen. Nice to see you. Christopher Lee was good, says the Spore Hacker.
Yeah, he was a lot taller than me too. No, I met him several times. So at family reunions and stuff. So yeah, he's 6'5". I'm 5'8", so I'm a little short guy.
All right. Yeah. That's not the size that matters, right?
Yeah, no, but the way he talks, I wish I could talk like him.
Right. Okay, so for this sketch, can the backer decide what?
Yeah, the backer can decide. Yeah, I'll leave that open. Just put it in comments.
Okay, great.
And then this is I'm also doing an 11 by 17, which is a actual cover size. Cover size, and it's going to be like the covers. I mean, it's going to be fully detailed. It's going to be really nice. It's just nothing. It's not nothing. It'll take like a week to draw each one. So.
Right.
It's going to be, there'll be something very special for that.
Great. So people can use this for a cover for their own book, right? That's fantastic. You can get original art also. So the original art of this cover is here.
Yep. The original artwork's available.
Fantastic. What's the size?
It's 11 by 17. It's an actual cover. If you give me a second, I'll go get it. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Ever get it?
Sure, man. Right. Dr. Ino says, one of my very few role models. Rest in peace, Sir Christopher Lee. Yeah. Yeah, man. Some people just have that presence on screen, you know? And he had it. So, yeah. This is a... All right. This is a question for Mr. James.
Okay, so if you want to go me full screen, I will show you how big this
Sure,
is.
man. There you go.
This is how big it is.
Great.
Okay,
Oh, beautiful.
That's 11 by 17. That's the full size cover.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. Okay. So people can buy that from you. For 250 guys, you can get the original art. Tony Horton. Hey, welcome, Tony.
Your question is how do I do the page wise? It's
Yeah.
real simple. If you know anything about printing, because I've done the novels, you learn that when you do a book, okay, the book is a sheet of paper where it's folded. So if you look at a book, like when you open it up, you have page 1 like this. You have page 2, 3, and 4. So it's a 4 set. So you have to do things in a 4 set. So, so like 12, 24, 48, 30, 36. You have to do it by 12s by 4 sets. So that's how you determine your pages. But as setting out your plot and story, that's where you have to really figure out where you're going to tell your story and how it's going to move.
Yeah. You will try to keep it within those 48 pages, but you're not that strict, really.
I can
will
go
give
up to
the
100
story
pages.
the room that it needs.
Yeah, I can go up to 100 pages. I have enough planned out
Yes.
that I can add into certain spots if I need to.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. People can also get the originals for cover B and for cover C, and you can get a trading card.
Okay. There's 2 sketch trading cards that I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's the Count as the Vampire,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the Lady Mina, who is which I can show you. Hold on 1 second. I will show you what they look like colored.
Sure.
And these are 11 by 17 as well.
All right. Okay. So I don't see the trading cards on the campaign itself. Right?
Yeah, they're not pictured yet because we want to get to the actual bench, the actual thing. Let me share with you real quick.
All right. Let me know when you're ready, sir.
There you go. All yours.
There it is. All right.
So this is the trading card that you'll be getting. So the original artwork to this is up for sale as a benchmark. And then, of course, the original artwork to this one also is up for sale on the Indiegogo campaign. And finally, the cover to book 3 of the novels, which is a wraparound cover, which means it's huge, is up for sale.
Wow.
Which you saw on the website. So that artwork's up for sale as well.
All right, great.
So,
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it back for one more minute. So people, you can check it out. The link is in the description, guys. Please share it. So tell everyone about this campaign. Let's refresh. You now have 22 backers. Let's refresh for a moment. You're at 22 backers. You have 60 days to go. So yeah.
We haven't even gone 24 hours yet. So
exactly,
it's been going really good. I am very happy with the way it's going. I'm very thankful for everybody that's put in for the campaign already. Very thankful for everybody on Twitter and Facebook and everybody that's been sharing the posts and like that. Very thankful for everybody because without people like that's around, this wouldn't even be possible.
Yes. I saw good stuff. Hey, good stuff. Welcome, sir. All right, guys.
Okay, hold on. One question. What inspired me to write the Stines? what happened with the Steins to create it? When my mother passed away, I suffered from dementia really bad. And my doctor that I was seeing talked me into writing because to get my mind off of being depressed. And so I was sitting at home after work and I had been watching classic television, which, of course, I had watched Andy Griffith, The Munsters, and The Addams Family. And I was thinking of originally, could you take the Munsters and make it into a serious horror story? The answer is no. It is a complete and utter disaster. But what I did was I took the premise of the characters, the vampire, the undead, the vampire, the werewolf, and the beautiful girl. And I molded them into my own characters and created this world based on that.
Hmm.
And in the novel series, you follow it through the girl who comes in. Now, my girl in this story of the novels is 17 years old. She's raven haired, beautiful girl. And when her parents die, she's forced to go live with these monsters over in Europe. And that's where the whole story, that's how it turned around. But originally it was going to be specifically on the vampire and who he was and what he was doing. But I originally wrote down one thing across the board when I was doing this. My vampire could not be Dracula. He had to be different. So I had to come up with a brand new way of how he became a vampire, where he lived, what was going on, all that. And I had to basically start from scratch on everything. And it took me well over a year before I had everything story. I went through 11 drafts writing this before I actually got published and went for a publishing deal.
Wow. Wow. You got a lot of rejections or
No, I didn't have a book until the 11th draft.
right.
No, when I
Wow.
had the 11th draft done, I sent it out and I had 6 different publishing companies want it.
Hmm.
They all sent contracts back. I will
Oh,
say
wow.
this to anybody who's doing independent work. If you're writing comics, whatever, if somebody sends you a contract, sit down with a business attorney to look at it
Hmm.
because there's companies that see cash, they see making a lot of money, and they see giving you pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
You've got to protect your own investments. Copyright everything before you start looking at doing anything book wise. Because if you don't, there's a lot of companies that'll take advantage of you.
Yes. That's good.
So,
Good advice, man.
and like I said, I got a really good deal with the publisher that I have for my novels. I'm very happy with them, but they don't do comic books. So on comic books and graphic novels, I'm striking out like this.
Right. Will there be a fourth novel?
Not right now. Um, I do have something else in the works, novel wise, but it's much more dark fantasy than it is vampires. And
Right.
but the Steins will continue. I plan on continuing them through graphic novels and drawing them because I like drawing the characters. I really like drawing the Count. I
Hmm.
really like drawing Mina. I really like drawing werewolves. I mean, I mean, if you saw one of the covers, there's even a dragon running around that I have in the story. So you'll probably see. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna put him in the comic, but he's definitely in the novels.
Right. Right. Apex. I saw Apex. Hey, Apex. Welcome. Um, okay, guys. Oh, and I saw that Spore Hacker said something. He said, "I want to get the physical, but shipping is a pain." Yes, but yeah, this is true. If you want to
Well,
support,
I will say this on the novels, like I say the big bundles, you're actually saving quite a bit on the novels. So even with the shipping to Europe, it's the same price as just a straight up wholesale retail price. So it
mhm,
does kind of offset.
right? Yes, yes, that's good to know. All right, guys. Wait. We have one more question, I think. After the Indiegogo campaign has ended, will they also be available in online stores? Or is it exclusive to Indiegogo?
Well, when the campaign, we're going to go in demand. So as long as it's in demand, you'll be able to get the books.
Mm-hmm.
Once we go to publish, actually printing the books, then it'll go onto the online store on the website until we run out. We're not going to be doing reprints and continually printing the books because
Right.
we want to go to the next graphic novel.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Great. James, if people want to follow you, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Minds. I'm on pretty much anything and everything. I do not. I'm on Instagram, but I'm very seldom on Instagram, so don't. But yeah, basically Twitter. I'm on Twitter quite a bit. Facebook, not as much, but I'm on Facebook. But yeah, but definitely Twitter.
All right. All right. Great. Guys, you can find the link in the description. Follow James, share the campaign. And James, I want to thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. I wish you the best of luck with your campaign. And special thanks to the chat, to everyone who showed up for watching us and for liking. Please like, please share, please comment, and next week I will be back, same time, same channel, and my guest will be Dean James. So I hope to see you guys then. So bye bye, guys.
Take care.